So I was going to turn the recording on now. Okay, so Millie, could be an opportunity to overcome camera shyness, Millie. It's entirely up to you to show yourself, but it's whatever works. Okay, so I'm just going to share the screen to get into our presentation here. So, whoops. So you can actually click on the 3x3 matrix on the webcams and see everybody else, okay? And you can make it a little bigger if you want, just reshape the windows. So, welcome to the webinar, Opening to Your Flow of Abundance. It's a free healing webinar. I'm Nicolas Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. And we're going to explore clearing or identifying and clearing blockages you have to your flow of abundance today. So this will be very much an experiential webinar here, and the transmission will be embedded in the actual recording as well. So you can listen to it again later and you'll pick up a lot of the energy as well. It's just as strong later on, okay? So don't watch it if you're in a vehicle or anything like that, or even listen to it when you're in a vehicle. It's very strong. So are you here to do something very special in the world? I used to feel like that. I can't rely on the universe to give you what you needed. That took decades when you need it. So very much this group webinar using divine healing is about gracefully accelerating the healing. Healing the fear of stepping into the life you really desire. Okay, I think someone else has just joined us. So let me see if I can load up a couple more people. Hi, Brian and Sandra. Just load these guys up. I stepped out about 20, 30 years ago, 25 years ago. I left my corporate job and overcame this fear of stepping into my life, into what I really desire, which is to do this work. So I'm going to help you a bit with that today. So you can quicken the process of safely letting go, opening to the flow of abundance and delivering your gift of service to the world. This special thing, if you guys could all mute, that would be great on the bottom left, because we're picking up all the sound. That special thing that we as light workers are seeking from the time where we start to wake up. We know there's something special and no one's telling us what that is, because no one can answer that question because it's within us. So we're going to help you get a little closer to that today. Okay, so I'll stop the share now. So that's why we're here. So what I'd like to hear from you guys is why you're here. What's your intention? What brought you here? And what's your intention? Because we're going to collectively set intention. And you can, guys on the video first, we'll start with you. And the other guys can put it in the chat if you want, or turn your mic on and speak to us, okay? Okay. Who would like to go first? Just wave at me and then switch your mic on, because this is the intention setting for the webinar. So, okay, Marcia.
Hi, hello. Hi, Nicolas. Hi, everybody. I'm from Brazil, but I live in Miami, Florida. I came across your work, Nicolas, about 10 days ago. Like searching, I'm attempting doing the healing work.
Yeah.
So I was searching on the internet, and then I came across your website, which took me to your interviews in Gaia.
Yeah.
Then I got your book, and then I have my first reading with your colleague, Antigone. I don't know if I can pronounce her name.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's gonna be giving my soul contracts reading tomorrow, and relationship reading. So I signed up for the newsletter. I was interested in the soul contract reading, but I thought it would be nice to hear from you. You know, if you give like an overview of your workshop.
You're breaking up, Marcia.
each one needs at their point of process. Because I thought to do the workshop on the soul contract reading, level 1, but I'm leaning to this one. But I want to hear from you, so that's why I'm here.
Okay, so you broke up a bit there. So you wanted an overview of the soul contract reading workshop. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, at the beginning, but then I came across this one, and then I'm probably reconsidering. And I want to hear from you at the end, if you can, to not only for me, but for everybody, an overview of the workshops that you have to see which ones, fit our present needs or so.
Yeah, well, I'll give an overview of the divine healing training, which is what this one's about. There's a soul contract webinar, which I can post a link for, so you can get it where we talk about that one there. Okay.
Okay.
But I will explain the structure of this particular, the divine healing training.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Who else? Carolina's messaged me. She said, I do energy healing, and I'm curious what you do and what you teach. Okay, welcome, Carolina. Okay, who would like to share next their intention? Okay, Joel, thanks for tuning up.
Hey, yeah, I'm happy to be here. So a couple months ago, I did level 1 soul contract training with Nicolas, and really loving this work. I'm super interested in doing the divine healing training coming up. And so I am right now on a journey of stepping into my own work as a coach and soul contract reader and energy healer. For me, abundance is many things. I've got a lot of abundance in my life. I could use a little bit more in the cash flow variety. So that's one of the reasons I'm here, just to keep me on my path. So yeah, just to keep things going, get another taste of the divine healing. I've been to a couple of these before, or watched a few of them online. So I just really want to be a part of this.
Okay, welcome again. Thank you. Okay, so, who wants to go next? Iluna.
Hi, I'm Iluna. I'm in Brighton in the south of England. And like Joel, I completed the level 1 of the soul contract reading in March with Nicolas. And I am now getting steeped in doing the soul contract readings, and I'm really excited about it. So anything Nicolas is offering, I'm just really plugging into. So as far as an intent today, I'm keeping an open mind about the divine plan healing. I have done some divine plan healing before. So that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Thanks, Iluna. Okay, Gail.
So for me, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. So for me, this is divine timing, because I am really at a point where it's this path or this path, and I need that guidance right now to really be solid in knowing the optimal path to take.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you, Gail?
I am from the States, and I'm currently in Arizona.
Okay, well, a very interesting state to live in at the moment. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who else wants to go? Jane, do you want to have a say? Let's see what you have to say. What brought you here?
I was just curious, really, what the divine healing workshop was about. So I thought, I'm into healing, so yeah, that was it, really.
Well, we'll satisfy the cat's curiosity. Okay, but it won't kill you. Okay, it will enliven you. Okay, Gloria.
Hi. Well, I just read Soul Contract, and I just have a recently turned out in
Can
my
you come
life.
closer to the microphone because you're very faint?
Oh, okay. Recently I have a lot of changes in my life, and I'm trying to discover how to contribute with the society and flow with the purpose of my soul, because I want to really commit with the intention of my soul.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Hang on, someone else has arrived. Welcome, Gabrielle. Someone else has arrived here. Christina.
Hi, Nicholas.
Hiya.
Everyone. I've actually never done a webinar with you.
No, you
on
haven't.
this.
You haven't.
So I'm really excited to kind of see what this is about. And I thought it was kind of perfect timing because I've been guided for months to leave my 3D job and to start my 5D business. So, which I have been transitioning into. And my intention for this is that abundance piece in starting my business and the supports as I leave my job. And basically what's coming. We've got some big shifts coming soon. And so just want to be fully supported and equipped.
Okay, well, this is a good tool to have because it's going to get pretty interesting.
It is.
Getting very
coming.
interesting. What's happening now in the world. So, okay, great awakening. All right. Gabrielle, do you want to, you've shown yourself there. Do you want to share why you're here, what your intention is? So I get a feel for that.
Thank you, Nicholas. I'm just very open to what I might learn from this. I just felt very drawn to attend today. So I run a health and wellbeing centre here in the UK, and I'm seeing a lot of changes going on in my business and my own work. And yeah, it's lovely to connect with like-minded people and to be on the receiving end of learning as well, because I offer so many courses online and in person. It's actually quite nice just to participate in a few opportunities as well. Thank you.
Good. Thank you for coming. Okay, Cynthia from Minnesota said, interested in learning about the divine healing modality. Okay, all right. Ooh, Aisha. Oh, never mind. Hi, Aisha. You going to show yourself? We'll see. Anyone else want to put anything on the chat? No? Okay, so let's have a look here. Let's get started. Let me share the screen here. I'm going to explain what divine healing is. I think a lot of you are curious. Okay, so just get into what that is. Okay. So divine healing is on my pen here. Get it to work over here. You see that? Yeah. Okay, so divine healing is a multidimensional healing system whose purpose is to open to grace. It comes from source. It's arrived on Earth in 2006, and it was channeled through Almira Ariel Halle, who used to run the Center for Conscious Ascension with me, and two other friends and colleagues of ours. And it's come to Earth to assist us in this ascension process, in this great awakening. And basically, it's here to provide a set of simple, quick, profound, and very accurate healing tools, which you can use on yourself or others, to clean up your ego, to peel your ego, so that you can get back to source and consciousness. That's what it's for. It's designed so we can go home, we can ascend and get back to the essential nature of who we are, which is pure love. So it's designed, I'm going to jump around a bit. So it's designed to actually peel this onion here. This is the pure love, the flame of consciousness, the soul that we are. And here's all the layers of our ego onion. For those of you who are familiar with the soul contract work, it's about peeling the ego onion created by the soul contract to create a particular filter on the world, and the way we view it. And the idea is to peel this in the right order and get back to the flame of consciousness, who we truly are, so you can unleash your gift of service in the world that I mentioned at the beginning, so that you can actually deliver that gift to the world and start to feel more fulfilled about life, delivering your soul's mission. It's that special thing you've been searching for your whole life. That was the thing that drove me a bit crazy for a while when I was younger, because no one could tell me the answer to that, to my question, well, what is the real reason I'm here? What's my gift of service? I didn't quite say it in those terms at the time. So it allows you to reconnect to spirit at all levels. It allows you to empower yourself rather than asking others what you should be doing or how to get somewhere. You can do it yourself. And it's the keys to enlightenment, to higher consciousness. Okay, so it doesn't say you're going to be enlightened necessarily, but it's going to get you moving on the pathway there to higher consciousness. So it allows you to heal deeply, completely, and easily. It's a lot of fundamental and underlying program which we often are not conscious of, which drives us forward and drives us crazy in life. I remember I learned this in 2006 at the first class that our mirror ran in. It's now 15 years and my life has completely changed because I really peeled that onion as fast as I could, because I realized this was going to free me from a lot of the slavery of the ego. And it does allow you to become a master of your life and experience more love, fun, and joy. And begin to live your dreams. So some of this is starting to happen now. Some good stuff is really happening. And it allowed me to deliver my gift of service in the world. It allowed me to move from being very dysfunctional emotionally, and I've been brought up in the corporate world, and I escaped from that. Well, prior to Divine Healing, I escaped, but it allowed me to complete that escape by unleashing my gift of service and eventually bring the flow of abundance. And that's not money only, it's the flow of knowledge, ideas, people, opportunities, all the good things in life. So, and feel free to ask questions as we go, and wave at me, or put a message on the chat if you are if you're not showing us. I'm just going to pull the chat up. Okay, just going to open the chat box here so I can see it. Millie's just said, reason for me attending this class is to help me physically, not being so impacted by what's going on around me, to being able to hold sacred space without taking things on, to be able to release with grace, with ease and grace. Okay, thanks, Millie, for that. So, what are we doing when we peel this ego onion? This ego filter which creates our reality, which seems real to us. Well, what we're doing is this. We are metaphorically growing lotuses out of mud. And the mud is all our emotional separation patterns. All the patterns that keep us separate from oneness, from God. It's about diving into the mud, bringing consciousness to it, and transforming it into beautiful lotuses. Because the way we look at things is it's more the Buddhist model, where everything is one, and we're just transforming the state of many layers of unconsciousness into this positive gifts of service. It's about bringing consciousness to our issues, not moving away from denying them, which is what the ego normally does. Normally it does this. It does this here. Yeah. What the ego does when it feels the mud, feels the programs, it usually avoids it. Okay, that's where we get into our addictions, watching Netflix, TV, alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever addictive patterns you may have or have had. We go into avoidance to numb out. And as we start to awaken spiritually, we start to become aware of what our mud is, what our separation patterns are. Then our ego judges it. And we feel bad about it. What we do with divine healing, the core principle of it is about bringing maximum feeling consciousness to the mud, the separation patterns, and resonating and owning it, because that's all the soul wants you to do. It wants you to feel it. And when you feel it and you track where it comes from, then you can transform it. And that layer of the mud is transmuted into part of the lotus. So you have a little less mud in your life, a little less separation, and a little more joy. Okay, that's the core principle of what we're doing. So we're doing this. We're diving into the mud a lot. But overall, that leads to a happier life. So how did we get here? Who are we? How does divine healing fit in with that? Well, this is your multidimensional self, which is us in these third dimension with these physical bodies, these earth suits that our souls come into. Okay, what's actually going on here? Well, source, all that is, great spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, it wanted to expand its consciousness. So source is on the 12th dimension. This is a vibration. We're in the third dimension. So we're 9 dimensions away. We're a long way from home. It had an out breath of itself and expanded itself out into and basically created this universe. And it separated many parts of itself and had them densified through all these dimensions to the point that this is the astral plane. This is where we go when our physical bodies die. To the point that these little sparks of the divine created these physical bodies, and we came in here feeling completely separated from source, thinking that this is all there is initially. And so this is why we ask the question, well, what's the meaning of life? Because if you remember that you're a source, you wouldn't ask that question. So what we're actually asking is, where's home? Something's wrong with this place. That's what I used to feel. Something's badly wrong. And I started searching for home. So we searched for home. And the purpose of divine healing is to cut a pathway back in consciousness to source. This is an interference zone level. This is lots of astral beings and things in the lower 4th dimension. We're going to cut a pathway through here in consciousness back to source, back to the remembrance of who we are, which is pure love. That's the purpose of divine healing. And feel a lot better, have a more fulfilling life as a result. But also it allows the higher consciousness of source to come through us and express through us to deliver our gift of service. Okay. Hi, Kerry's right. Hi, Kerry. Just going to load you up. Okay. So what happens when we come into this body from the high dimensions? We drop down into these bodies. Well, 3 core separation patterns happen. Okay. And they are these. So when we pop out of our mothers, the first thing we feel, because it was lovely in the womb where we connected to God, the first thing we feel is abandonment by God. It's cold here, the lights are bright, it's noisy. Where's God gone? And then we feel, our ego feels unworthiness to be loved by God, because God threw us down out into this third rock from the sun. And God mustn't love me because God kicked me out of heaven, or something to that effect. And as a result of that, we also don't trust God. Oh, I can't trust that God anymore because he or she kicked me out of heaven. Don't know if I'm going to get back. This is the one we're going to work on today. I can't trust God will be there, the flow will be there for me in any way at all. So these 3 core patterns of abandonment, unworthiness, and mistrust of God form our ego structure in some unique combination. That's what we're going to work on. Sharing some of that today. Okay. So let's go down to the next one. So how do we do that? What practically do we do in divine healing? Here's what we do. change my color. So the red is our emotional separation pattern. If you guys could all go on mute, that'd be great. So I'm getting a little bit of background noise. Thanks. Okay. We have this emotional separation pattern. This could be mistrust of God, for example. That leads us not to take risks, leads us maybe not to leave our corporate job, not to leave a situation in life it's not serving us because we're scared, oh, I don't know if the flow is going to be there for us. So we need to, in order to heal that, we need the following requirements. We need the willingness and desire and courage to actually heal, because without that, nothing is going to happen. So then we can bring our consciousness in, hi Kerry, and focus on this pattern. And then the sky blue is us bringing our feeling consciousness to expand it into feeling as much of this as possible. Because the more feeling consciousness you can bring into the issue, the deeper the healing can be, because what you feel, you can heal. Okay, so if you have a fear of stepping into the life you really desire, or anything blocking the flow of abundance, if you can feel it, you'll clear that layer. And that's all Soul wants you to do. Yeah. But the ego is not so keen on us doing that. So what it does is this, it's very clever. It puts, oh, my pen's disappeared here. It goes and puts a defensive wall around us. It numbs us out. This is emotional ice, frozenness. It buries the issues. So this issue is sabotaging us, but we can't access the thing because the ego doesn't give up its secrets that easily. Because what you can't feel, you can't heal. And in the West, we're very much taught to use control our emotions with the prefrontal cortex. Notice how some people say, well, I think I feel this. It's because this prefrontal cortex has got control. If you can't penetrate this, you can't feel this, therefore you can't transform it. This is why it takes so long to heal, because our defense mechanisms are usually quite well organized. So what we do with divine healing is this. We work in a group, online on Zoom. It could be anything from 6 to 20, 25 people, whoever turns up. We work in a group, and the group energy is very supportive. It's a very safe, trusting space. Everyone learns to trust each other, go very deep. And it allows you to bring consciousness to very deep block patterns and break through the ego's defense mechanisms gracefully. And as we do that and bring feeling consciousness to the issue, we break through the ice, and as we feel the stuff, the separation pattern, it starts to clear. It starts to let go. We feel a little better because we just cleaned a layer of our ego onion. This takes time. There are no shortcuts to this process, no matter what anyone says to you or not what any website says to you. There's a quick solution to this. There isn't. It takes dedicated work over many years to get clear, but it's worth it because it's permanent when you do it. You feel permanently better. So how does it work overall? Just going to have a little drink here. There's two parts of us. There's our higher self, the part of us not embodied, that consists of a God self, higher emotional body, and a non-linear mind. This is the higher conscious part of us. This is the part of us which is over here to show you in the big picture. So this is the part of us here, the high dimensions. It's all seeing, all knowing, it's permanent. And what it does, it creates a temporary, lower, impermanent self here, us in this body. And that consists of 7 energy bodies within the physical body. And within those is an emotional, mental body. And these are filled with emotional separation patterns generated by the soul contract, and we got onto that, which keep us separated in consciousness from the higher self. So all we feel is that there's this life here, this is it. And this is called the Antakarana. It's a connection of energy that allows the higher self to feed us life force and knowledge. But it's very thin initially. Okay. And our job in this life is to clean up the lower self of all these ego patterns so we can rebuild our connection to the higher self, which looks like this. As we clear the lower self, the Antakarana opens up. More unconditional love comes through. That unconditional love releases more of our programming here because it just accepts it for what it is. Because when we judge ourselves or feel bad about our programs, that actually results in them getting stronger and being harder to remove. As we do this, the Antakarana gets bigger. We have more light coming in. We feel better because we've cleared more programs, more unconditional love is coming in, to the point here where we have dissolved the ego. The Antakarana is its maximum opening. So the ego has dissolved and has become a clear vessel. We've become a clear vessel as a servant of higher consciousness. So the ego is surrendered, and so we can embody much more of our higher self, the atomic Buddhic bodies, God self. Okay, we can bring that in. And this is actually how we create the flow of abundance, by cleaning up our ego, because manifestation of all things comes from higher consciousness. It comes from the higher dimensions. And if your ego is surrendered, you are then much more open to abundance coming through. So it's not about you at a personality level making things happen or forcing it to happen, which we've all done. It's about allowing it to happen. And so the unconditional love and manifestation energies of the higher self comes through. We start to deliver our gift of service. So this literally comes into this reality, which is like a 3-dimensional projection screen. And the matrix, the reality, rearranges around what's coming through us through a clear, surrendered ego. So the key to opening to abundance is to clean out your ego above all things. Most of what we're dealing with is, it's like an iceberg. It's below the surface of the water, stuff we don't even know about. It's sabotaging us, preventing us from opening to abundance. Any questions so far? Everyone clear on that? Joel?
Yeah, my only question is, earlier you said it's done in groups. Is it always done in groups, or do you also do like one-on-ones as part of the healing?
The training is always done in a group, because what you do is that there's a manual we have, which I'll show you here. There's a Divine Healing Manual. I'm going to share the screen now. I found the manual. Yeah. So we have a Divine Healing Manual, which was channeled by Almira, Shakira, and Mary. And there are 26 charts. We're going to do some of them once I finish this part of how it works. Basically, there's 26 charts in there, and we spend 4 days on Zoom with breaks. It's about 8 hours a day, 6 hours of contact time per day, where I teach you the theory of each chart. I demonstrate, and then on someone in the class, if it needs demonstrating, or if it's a simple chart, I do the chart on all of you. But if we're demonstrating, I demonstrate on one person in the class, and then you go off into breakout rooms in Zoom, your own private virtual space for those of you not familiar with that, where you give and receive the chart. So you need to have people to work with in the class. And so basically, you get to give and receive all the charts, or at least receive it from me, the simple ones. And you get to work with a whole variety of people who will help you work through dig through a lot of your mud, basically, and you'll emerge a lot clearer at the end. And we'll follow the sequence through these charts in terms of following what we call the spiritual signature. Just the flow of the group consciousness will guide me in the way we actually flow through the charts. It's different every time. Basically, it's a 4-day mass healing intensive. So you become a lot clearer, but you will also learn how to do it. So you can actually work on yourself and work on others if you're interested in doing that. Okay, does that help, Joel?
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking more like if I did the training and I'm working with a client, is that sort of work done one-on-one as well?
Yeah, that sort of work is done on one-on-one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's always done one-on-one. Yeah. And it can be done in person or done on Zoom remotely. Okay. So basically we teach you how to do that, but we teach you by experiential learning, where you theory, giving and receiving. So by the time you get to the end of it, you've had an experience of all the charts. Okay. Right. So how do you live that more fulfilling life? How do you open to the flow? Here's how we do it. Most people, when they first start off, we're locked in our little ego here, in a lower state of consciousness. And as we awaken spiritually, we expand in consciousness as we dissolve the ego. But at this stage here, we're in the little blue dot, we're following the path of the ego, the path of suffering, which is a dotted line. So we're doing what we think we should do. The left brain is dominant. And life's not so pretty, as most of you know, when you just follow what you think you should do. Because you've only got a 50-50 chance of the ego getting it right. So what divine healing does is it expands your consciousness. We start to move from following the path of the ego to following the path of spirit, the spiritual signature, which is the darker line here. And it's where in each moment is one right action we need to take. And that one right action, what that will do is open our heart the most. And if we follow that, we will eventually get into the flow of abundance, because the spirit naturally wants us to be abundant. And we'll also be on the path of bliss, where life will just be more fulfilling and just flow for us. So we basically converge on the spiritual signature over time. As we get clearer emotionally, you can feel our heart more. And eventually we're in the flow all the time. And life just unfolds for us. So it's not the struggle, which it is for most people for their entire lives, the path of suffering, where the universe just keeps dumping stuff on us. Because we're manifesting it because we haven't cleared our stuff. We're in a different reality, even though we may be in the same space. This is actually how we open to the flow of abundance. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So, any questions so far? Because we're going to have an experience of it now, then you'll know what I'm talking about. No questions? Okay. So, okay. Right. So, what I want you guys to do is close your eyes. And I'm going to clear some of the energy interference first, which was here on this diagram. I'm going to clear a lot of this lower astral interference, which is preventing you from connecting to higher self. All right. So I'll be doing this quietly, but just be aware of how your body shifts, because this is we're going to clear what we call Earthbound Souls first. These are beings who left a physical body, but have not left the earth plane. They got lost and they got attached to you because you were carrying very similar issues that their host, the body they were in, the personality they were in once, was carrying. Okay. So we're doing this quietly. So I want you to have your feet flat on the ground and breathing through your mouth. Okay. Eyes closed is very important. Otherwise, the mental body is going to trigger and try and figure out and understand this. So it's about surrendering into the flow of spirit here. Okay. So I'm going to do this quietly now. So just be present with it. Okay. I want you to feel the energetic shift. We've asked the Earthbound Souls to go to the light, to the next dimension. Now we're going to remove extraterrestrial presences from the higher dimensions, because they're very interested in us, because we have a vast range of emotions we experience here on Earth, and they just try to understand how this works. So we're going to get rid of them because they affect us just by their presence. You feel the energetic shift, a bunch of these guys have left. Now we're going to release discards, entities, and attachments, basically all sorts of astral life that's hanging out, trying to suck your energy, just trying to interfere with you. Okay, creating a lot of your programming and experiences in life. We're going to remove a whole bunch of them now, quietly. So feel the energy shift. A few minutes to integrate. Okay, just open your eyes for a little bit there. Just give you time just to integrate that. So does anyone want to share any feedback on how they felt as this interference energy left? Put it in the chat or just talk to me. Gail?
I definitely could feel the shift of feeling much more spacious and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else want to share how they were? Jane?
Okay. So on the last one, I felt more, well, a slight, like an energy vortex more leaving my heart area or around my heart area.
Yeah. A lot of our programming is held in different parts of our body by the interference, and it's triggering our negative emotions. Okay. So it wants to feed off those energies. Cynthia said to me, I was coughing through the whole process, definitely something clearing there. Okay. Anyone else? Christina, you going to say something?
I said I was yawning.
Okay. All right.
That energy was releasing.
All right. Anyone else want to share how that was? Joel?
For me, I'm feeling a lot more grounded in my body and just kind of settled physically.
Yeah. Okay. See, anybody else? Gloria, are you reaching for the... You have to come closer, come closer to the computer because the sound's not very good otherwise. Yeah.
Okay. I felt like tingles in my left foot,
Yeah.
and I feel more relief.
Okay. Thank you. Millie said, I have been having left side heart issues. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. So we're gonna do another chart now. That was the interference chart. We're going to do what's called a main low frequency program chart next. So what I want you to do is close your eyes. Okay. And focus on your gift of service if you're aware of it. And if you're not aware of it, just focus on it as a general idea. Okay. The thing that you came here to really do. Right. You just have a feeling of it or an inkling of it. And breathe through your mouth and focus on it. Focus on manifesting it. Because what we're going to do here is we're going to trigger in the ego the programming stopping you getting there, stopping you manifesting the flow of abundance. Because when you're aligned with delivering your gift of service, abundance comes from the universe to support you in that. And breathing through the mouth is important because that gets us out of our heads and into our bodies. Okay. So become aware of any fears of stepping into the life you desire, any lack of trust or whatever comes up, and just be aware of it. Or it could just be a pure feeling. You may have no words. So just breathing in through your mouth. And just drop your consciousness into the energy that you're bringing up, the feeling in you that's coming up, and expand your consciousness into that as much as possible. Because we're going to go and clear that. And become aware of whatever's coming up and how that program operates in your life without getting into a big story in your mind. The main thing is to turn into it and feel it, even though you're maybe trying to avoid it a lot in the past. If you're aware of where that came from, could have been when you're a child, or if maybe you're aware of a past life. If you're aware of the original time, that's what we call it, where it came from, just bring that into consciousness. It's okay if you're not aware of it. And let yourself open to all aspects of that feeling. Perhaps for the first time. Become aware of any attachment you have to it. Any feelings of being bad for having this program. And all judgment around it. Because often we say, oh, I should be better, should be further down the path. I do this all the time. I shouldn't have that program. I'm too advanced for that. Done too many years' work. And the more you can open to it, the more it can integrate and heal. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to work from the Divine Healing Manual. You can open your eyes now, but stay breathing into that feeling. And we're going to use what's called a Divine Healing Command Code. Basically, you're commanding the universe to clear this program because you brought feeling experience to it. And this is the command code here. So I'm going to read it out. So I want you to just repeat after me. We can do it in bite-sized chunks because we need to allow each part of it to actually complete before we do the next one. So repeat after me. We are Saint Germain. Actually, everyone switch your microphones on so we can hear you. It's better with the group energy. Okay, because you'll feel sort of mutual support then. Okay, may sound a little chaotic, but it's better if you can hear everyone. Repeat after me in bite-sized chunks. We are Saint Germain.
We are
Saint Germain.
To pour the purple flame through the aura and subtle bodies.
Or the purple flame.
Through aura and subtle bodies.
To burn away all low frequency energies that we have discovered.
Burn away all low frequencies that we have discovered.
So that new higher level vibrations can be accessed.
New high level vibration can be accessed.
Okay, we're going to pause there. So Saint Germain's getting organized there. So we're going to allow the high, different beings assisting us to get organized. Next one. Saint Germain and higher self, please burn out in one go.
Saint Germain and higher self, please burn out in one go.
100% the core issue through all levels and dimensions.
100% core issue through all levels and dimensions. Core issue through all levels and dimensions.
You pause, let that happen. 100% the original cause through all levels and dimensions.
100% the original cause through all levels and dimensions.
So pause there. 100% the source of its power through all levels and dimensions.
100% the source of its power through all levels and dimensions.
100% all energy attached through all levels and dimensions.
100% all energy attached through all levels and dimensions.
100% all of its effects through all levels and dimensions.
100% of energy is attached through all levels and dimensions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Still shift there.
Thank you.
Okay, just keep breathing so that shift it's still dissolving that layer of the programming, whatever that was. Okay. Much, I reckon maybe 70–80% of what we experience is coming from past lives we've had of unresolved issues. So what I want you to do is have your eyes closed and focus with your intention on becoming aware of any past lives or life that are blocking your opening to the flow of abundance in this life. And just your energy follows intention. It'll basically take you there, your soul. And breathe through your mouth into that. You might see a few past lives in the space-time continuum moving behind you to fit into this life. They may show themselves. Just breathe into them, bring consciousness to them. We're going to go and clear a whole bunch of them now. Okay, so we're going to use a variation on a past life death chart. You might have died in those lives, you might not have, but we're going to make a slight alteration on the wording. This is the command code here for past life deaths, but we're going to use it for past lives in general. So breathe into those lives, so you're bringing consciousness to them. And the more conscious you are, the deeper the clearing. And switch on your mics and repeat after me. We're going to do this next layer now. Higher self, please clear, heal, and integrate.
Higher self, please clear, heal, and integrate.
all these files and memories,
all these files and
memories,
including all cellular memories,
including
including all
all
cellular
memories,
memories,
the DNA and the subatomic levels.
the DNA,
subatomic level.
I am now ready to heal all traumatic lifetimes
I'm now ready to heal all traumatic lifetimes
that are blocking me from opening
that are
blocking me from opening
to the flow of my abundance
of my abundance
at all levels and dimensions,
At all
levels and
dimensions,
all time frames,
time frames,
realities and universes.
realities.
universes.
Can we just pause there? Just let that clear. We pause because it takes a bit of time. We don't want to stack too many processes in at once. We just want one process at a time. The energy will sort of go busy for a while. It gets calming down now. Then we'll get the next one. Repeat after me. I command that any soul fragments
I
I
command
Command that any soul
Fragments
held with these memories
held
held with
to these memories
are now returned to me,
are
are
now
now
and now return to me,
fully whole and intact,
fully whole and intact,
as appropriate.
as appropriate.
I welcome these soul fragments back.
I welcome
Welcome these soul fragments back.
Little pause there. It's okay. Yawn.
welcome these soul fragments back.
Yawning's fine. It means negative energy is releasing. I want to yawn. Because a chance for the energy to clear. Okay, last part, the command code. I command that the whole holographic matrix
I
Command the whole holographic matrix
be repaired through all layers and levels,
be
repaired through layers and levels,
then brought into full alignment,
then brought into full
alignment,
integration and balance,
integration and balance,
to allow for wholeness to emerge.
to allow
allow for wholeness to emerge.
Want to yawn again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gratitude is very important. Opens a connection to this.
Thank you.
Bypasses the ego completely. Just embrace the shift. So we'll just have a little feedback while that integrates. Anyone like to share how that was? Either in the chat or just having a talk to me. Gabrielle, you gonna say something? No.
That was big for me.
What happened, Christina?
Oh, I almost felt like tingly and almost kind of like my, I don't know, like rising. And then towards the end of the command code, I felt like this shift go through my whole aura, my whole body, and it just released. It was like this release feeling of, it was intense.
Yeah. Good. Gloria said I couldn't see other past life experiences, but I felt light clearing in my chest hit, and something definitely came out. Okay. All right. Anyone else want to share how that was? Joel?
Yeah, I saw 3 of my past lives.
Yeah.
And just had a real feeling, you know, in the beginning I felt the shame and kind of the this really heavy weight of what I had done in those lives and how I had affected a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then through the clearing, I really felt like a point of light that expanded, right? It started in the center of me and then it just expanded and kind of cleared it all away.
Yep. Well done. Because it's just a program, and because you hadn't got through those previous lives, the soul programs it into your cells in this life to clear it. Okay. And you weren't there in a past life, just there was a different personality created. So you've only been here in this life, but the soul has been in a previous life with another personality. So you're not responsible for what happened in the previous times. You just have a choice, a free will choice to say, okay, I'll help the soul clear it or some other personality. So you shouldn't feel guilty if you become aware of some messy stuff your soul got up to in another life.
Yeah, I like that perspective.
Yeah.
Yes.
None of you have done something bad in a past life if you've been beating yourself up about it, okay? All right. It's just a choice to clear the soul of that issue. Anyone else want to share how that was? We do another chart. Luna?
Yeah. I saw a few past lives and the kind of friends of mine. And so that was no surprise. And I just felt some expansion around my abdomen. And really, I just found the whole thing very peaceful. Okay. There was no, bells and whistles or anything. It was just peaceful. So, okay. Thank you.
That's how it should be when you've got it cleared enough stuff.
Yeah.
Anyone else before we do the next chart? Jane?
So I saw 3 of my past lives, and I just felt energy around the back of my neck.
Yeah.
Going, yeah. Sorry, that's it.
What's your relationship like with your mother?
Better than it was. I've cleared a lot of stuff from that, I think.
Yeah, because that's mother stuff leaving and it's coming from the back of your neck. Mother past life stuff.
Okay.
So you might want to know that. Hi, Kerry.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a very deep sense of peace and almost so relaxed, almost kind of like a nodded off almost. Like woke myself up immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, nodding off happens when you're going deep because the ego doesn't want to feel some programs. It can try and knock you out because it doesn't want you to bring consciousness to it. So that means, you went into something deep there. Okay. Anyone else on the chat or on the video before I do the next chart? I'm just doing this to see how you're doing, but also to give you a chance to integrate each chart. Okay, well, let's move to the next chart. So we've cleared a lot of deep stuff. We cleared a lot of interference, beings and energies. We cleared some deep low frequency programs around blocking abundance, cleared some past lives. And now we're going to do what we call an integration chart. We're going to, because our ego is sort of like a big woolly jumper being pulled apart. So we don't go too unstable. We need to infuse some frequency, some energy to integrate us so we can keep functioning, but in a new form. Okay. So we're going to go to our nutrition chart here. Let me just find it. So this is a nutrition chart. And nutrition is, I'll find the right diagram here. It's here. Got one. No, I haven't got it on this one. It's okay. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to infuse pure frequency of either an amino acid, an essential fatty acid, a mineral, or a vitamin. Okay, and that frequency is going to be picked by your higher self because I aligned you all to your higher self before we started. It's going to guide you, and your eyes will be drawn to one of them. And that's the frequency you need to integrate the shift we've made. So I'm going to scroll down the page, and it could either be on the first half, A or B, or it could be on C or D here. And your eye will be drawn to one of these, and whatever it is, just make a note of what that is, okay? So I'm going to move down slowly. And don't try and figure out what it's going to do, because you probably won't be able to. And you don't even have to understand how to pronounce it. Just a pure frequency that's going to help you integrate. Okay, so I got formic acid, for example. I get that a lot. So I'll scroll down slowly, and whatever your eye's drawn to, don't think about it, just whatever your eye's first drawn to is the frequency of nutrition you need. Okay, so minerals and vitamins. I'll go back up again just to make sure you got the right one. And basically what we're going to do is infuse the frequency of the actual physical nutrition as an energy into you. Okay, everyone okay with that? They got their nutrition? Okay, so we are going to do the last command code for this. So if you have your microphones on, okay, and repeat after me. Higher self.
Higher self.
Self.
Please encode this nutrient in the perfect balance.
Please encode
Encode
this
this
nutrient in the
nutrient
perfect
in the
balance.
perfect balance.
That is required
that is
Is
required
required
and clear and align
and
Clear and
align
all pathways
all
pathways
for maximum assimilation,
for
maximum assimilation,
absorption,
absorption,
and utilization.
utilization.
Okay, keeping your eyes closed, just feel the shift. So this frequent, I can feel the formic acid energy. It's actually coming in through my crown and going through my body. Feeling a little more expanded by it. It's sort of rippling through my system. So, okay, it's nearly spread through my system completely. And everyone say thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does that feel a little more integrated now? Yeah, Kerry, she said she got gold coming through. Okay. Anyone else want to share how that was, that last one? It's just so you leave integrated rather than dismantled after the session. Luna.
It felt like it was going up my nose.
Yeah. It can go all over the place, this stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone else? No? Or you can put any questions in the chat. Okay. All right, so that's just to give you an experience. Did that help? Help you give you an experience of divine healing? It's very palpable because I aligned you to your higher selves before we started, and the higher selves guiding you on which way to go with us. And we teach you how to connect to the higher self and how to, what we call number map, how to pick the different numbers out of all the choices in the charts. I'll show you a few more of these charts and you see what they're like. So we have, here's the contents page. There's 26 charts with 26 letters of the alphabet. And we did interferences first. Then we did main low frequency programs. We did the past life death chart, or past life issues. In this case, I changed it a bit. And then we did nutrition to integrate it here. So there's different ones for hydrating you, getting rid of fears and phobias, hidden subconscious agendas, ego agendas. It's a big one. Biggest one's key psychological conflicts. A lot of judgments and beliefs are held by the ego. Basically, sabotage is a very good one. Basically, we work our way through in 4 days through all these issues, and you basically peel some very big layers of your ego onion and leave a lot cleaner. It's always fascinating how, as a group, you come together in a certain way and how you clear things. And you'll feel a lot better at the end, and you learn all the charts by giving and receiving, essentially. So the way it works is that we do about 4 1.5 hour slots a day. We have 2 20-minute breaks during that time, and we have a meal break as well. So we start at past, because we span from California across the Eastern Bloc, sometimes India, sometimes out to Australia. We start at 12:30 in the afternoon UK time, run to 8:30 in the evening UK time. So if you are, here are the times here. And if you are in the east coast of North America, it's 7:30 in the morning to 3:30. If you're on Pacific, it's 4:30 and to 12:30, because we find the Europeans can run to about 9:30 at night. That's about the max they can run to, and I can run to 8:30 at night in the UK. So we cover the Western Hemisphere basically with it. You get an electronic form with a manual. We're on Zoom about 8 hours, but you get those breaks, and we have the breakout rooms. So you spend half the time practicing or more with the process. Other half I'm explaining how it works and doing group processes in it. And you get to meet some pretty nice people. Christina, do you want to share briefly what you put in the chat, just so everyone can sort of feel it from you how you found it? So that's probably a better way of explaining it.
Yes. So what I put in the chat was, for me, that divine healing is the foundation of healing. There's nothing like it. The way that divine healing has, transmuted my life is like indescribable. So my shifts are huge and my changes are now. So I started Divine Healing 1 last June, and I'm about to start 3, and I'm a completely different person. And the amount of gratitude and love that I have for this work there's no words for it. It is groundbreaking and life-changing. So don't be on the fence, just do it.
Thanks, Christina. Yeah.
You're welcome.
So we didn't set this up either. You just happened to turn up. I didn't even know you were going to come today.
Yeah, I just, I was like, oh, I got the emails. Like, I've never done one of these with Nicolas. I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah. Well, how have you found it?
Yeah, it's great. I love working with you. So.
Okay. So, yeah, it'll help you let go, hanging on to the old way of life, opening to the flow, and delivering the soul's gift of service. That's what this is all about. And if you're interested in coming, we run it 3 times a year. So the next one, this is our summer one. It's 17th to 20th of June on Zoom. I've explained the times here. And if you're interested in coming, the deposit is £175 or about $220 US. And the full fee, which includes the deposit, is £520 UK or about $650 US. Okay, so you can find out more at the divinehealingtraining.com. That gives you more of an explanation. And if you're interested in private sessions to go deeper into one-on-one, we have them at Free Up Your Life with divinehealing.com. That's with one of our team members, Charlotte Daniels, who organizes the workshop. She's a very good divine healer. So yeah, so it's there for you if you feel drawn, and if you have any questions, just email me. Okay. So any questions about anything we covered? Yeah. Okay. Hannah can't see the chat content. I don't understand that. Maybe make the window a bit bigger, Hannah. Yeah. Anyone got any questions? Oh, hang on, Hannah. I've got to promote you so you can see it. Anyone got any questions on divine healing based on that?
And Nicolas, I just wanted to add, if you do the divine healing, obviously the 4 days of training, make sure you have at least 2 days after, because you're going to be going through huge shifts and you really need that time of self-care afterwards.
Yeah, it's pretty strong, isn't it?
It is very strong. And what's so neat about the experience in the group session is everyone has, and there are people that you've never met, and they all have similarities that complement your mission. So, and you clear and you heal and all of this in one with people that you're meant to be with. It's just amazing.
Yeah, each group is unique in the way it sets itself up, and everyone's a mirror for you.
Absolutely.
Everyone's a really good mirror. So you tend to get paired up with the person that you need to work with. Doesn't mean you're necessarily going to like it all the time, but it's exactly what you need at the time, the way it works. We do this. So it's it's guided by the group consciousness. It guides me, the high selves of everyone guides me in the way you flow through the whole work. Okay. Any other comments or questions on the chat, or anyone want to talk to me about anything else? Aluna? You have to switch your mic on, darling.
I'm going to do it in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'll enjoy that. It goes well with the soul contract work.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's a good complement to the soul contract work in terms of, for those of you familiar with it, it basically allows you to clear the issues identified in the soul contract in a very targeted manner. So they go well together for those of you who are into that sort of work. So it's a very good combination as a therapy practice.
Yeah. Yep. Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Okay. Hannah, you've asked a question here. My question was if we have access to the, there'll be a recording afterwards, Hannah, because a lot of people, there are over 100 people registered, but they can't all come because it's North America. A lot of them are working. So there'll be a video will go out next couple of days on YouTube, which you'll get the same transmission. I know you came at the end, but you'll get the same transmission. So it's important to be in a quiet space to receive it. Don't be in the car, whatever you do, because you're going to get really altered from it. Okay. Okay, when we do this. Okay. And the transmission is equally strong. I discovered that people were actually using the YouTube videos just to get healing and saying it was the most powerful healing they've ever had. So just be aware, it's very, very powerful, the videos when you listen to them again. And to briefly answer the question about soul contract reading, soul contract reading is 5 days at the same sort of times, same sort of breaks. We give you a transmission of how that works. But I'll put a link for the webinars on that and a link for the soul contract info. Okay. Note for that. So if you want to come along to our webinar on that, we go much more deeply into it. Okay. Jane's asked, will we be qualified to do this on others once completed? Yes, you will, Jane. You will receive a certificate of completion. So what it requires in order to practice, that will get you insurance, professional liability insurance, but you need to obviously practice on, usually what happens is that people practice on each other in the class for a while. You do exchanges to get up to speed with it. And then when you feel ready, work on people, friends, maybe family. It's probably a bit dicey working on family. And then we'll start working on paid clients. But yes, main thing is with this work is to practice it. Okay, because then you're transmitting the frequency. And the more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it. And the more you let go, and the more you come into that flow of yourself. I'd say this is the key tool that got me into where I am now. I was struggling for many years. This really cleared a very tough nut ego that I had. So I was doing it every day for years because it was just so fast what it cleaned out. And I tried lots of things before that. Okay. Any other comments or questions before we finish? And Gloria said, as in Reiki, heal others, heals us. Often the people who come for you to work on, Gloria, will have this mirror to you the issues you have. And they'll often come maybe 30 minutes after you've just worked on the issue yourself, because they come because of what you have achieved. Because they unconsciously know that you know how to get breakthrough. That's why they turn up. So usually you're an expert on what turns up, because it's like you looking at yourself maybe a few days or a few months earlier. They're the sort of people who will turn up. So it's a bit eerie sometimes, and often they come in threes, same issue for that week, then it will change the next week. Okay, but this is service to others. So as you serve others with this, you will be served in life. And you can do this on yourself. It's very powerful for working on yourself as well. Okay. Right. No more comments here. Oh, hang on. Okay. Are you in Seattle?
So
who was that?
That was me.
Jamie.
So will you post a link to the how to register and stuff?
Yeah, I will post all the links in the description part of the YouTube video.
Okay.
Okay. So everything will be in there, so you can explore it more. Okay. All right. So Hannah, you're saying you're in Seattle. Did I get that right? Yeah. So we start at 12:30 UK time, which will be 4:30 in the morning your time. But that will take you to 12:30. So if you can handle it, it's better than flying, which you can't do anyway. So, but we'll cover from California out to Poland, or sometimes India, Australia, goes out, Japan, it goes all the way out there sometimes. We time it because most people are in the Western Hemisphere who come on the train. So usually it's very multinational, so you get a lot of different cultures turning up when we do this. Okay. All right, thanks everybody for participating. So Marcia, did that help? Did I give you enough clarity on the structure of what this is?
Yes, yes. I have been jumping into your work for the past 10 days, so it has been really rewarding. So yes, I'm looking forward to the workshop. So let's see. Yes, I have been attracted to your work and I have been really involved. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Okay, thank you for coming. Okay. All right, thanks everybody for participating. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thanks for the other chats.
Thank you very much. Bye.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Aisha, you just want to stay there?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Just stay there. I'm going to turn